Thank you for tuning into Tangents Daily. Today we're going to be talking about painting the fog light trim in the lower grille area on our Audi SQ5. Let's dive in. One of the things that I want to do before I get to disassembling this is kind of explain it a little bit. These pieces, these aluminum trim pieces, are a two-part system. There's the inner plastic right here, so that's plastic on the inside here, and then there's the outside bezel. So what you can do, so you can pop off these inserts first, and then you can take off the full bezel. The plastic inserts are just like these little pins that you have to use like a needle nose pliers and squeeze on them, and then they'll pop in and you can push it right out. So you'll see me taking off that plastic first. Then there's these other pieces here that you have to pry upward and then push back out, and then that whole metal piece will come out of here. You'll see there's a lot of them across here, so this process is going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to try to do it in the field view of camera, but I'm going to definitely fast forward it. So hopefully this helps understanding on how to take this apart and start your painting process. This side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to move the inner trim pieces here, here, and here, and then we're going to take the actual metal trim piece off of here. So we will get started. I'm going to move the existing ones I took off here just to kind of get them out of the way. But yeah, let's knock this out the park here. Should be pretty quick. And trim piece 3. We'll do the top here. 1, 2, 3. Those pop out really easily. You flip it around to these pieces, and you go 1, 2. Let's do a squat up here. Piece 1 off. One, 2, 3. So these 3 came off really easily. And we'll flip it around, and we'll do this one here. Red light is this one right here. 1, 2, 3. First piece. Second piece. This is a little bit tighter to get in here, but I can take this off here. Oh, let's get this first one there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and I'm probably gonna need to release this extra one. Yeah, so I do have one that I do need to probably pop up a little bit to get it out. There we go, that one's out. And now I can hit it from this side, like so. 1, 2, 3, voila. All 3 pieces are off. This is ready to get cleaned as well. Good stuff. So the next part of this is going to be the cleaning process. I'm probably going to clean these guys up with some just like general like trim renewer type of thing, just to kind of make them nice and glossy. I'm not going to paint these plastic pieces. What I'm more interested in is painting the, I think they're aluminum maybe, I think they're metal. I'm interested in painting these, but in order to paint them, you have to get all the grime off of them. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go down the road of like sanding it down. I think that's just not going to be conducive to restoring this if I ever needed to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a product called RapidTac. Typically I use this for application of vinyl wrap, but what I really like about it is it's an alcohol-based cleaner. So if there's any grime or anything from the road that has made it onto here, or any tar, it's going to come right off with this because it has an alcohol base to it. And I also think that it leaves a really, really nice tactful stick to it. So the next thing I'm going to do, probably way overkill for what I'm trying to do, but I want it to look nice, is I'm going to use some Automotive primer. Now what's interesting about this is it's for metal and fiberglass surfaces. Since this is metal, I should be able, that sound bad, but since that's metal, I should be able to use this primer to get it nice and primed, to get a good layer on for the application of the trim. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to be the matte black trim and bumper paint. So another Rust-Oleum product. I really went with this because I saw a review online. I'll link it somewhere in this video talking about why I picked the Rust-Oleum version. I did get a Krylon paint, but I just don't feel that the Krylon paint is going to do as good of a job as this. The guy did a 2-year review and it was faded maybe a little bit, but still is holding up really well. And that's kind of what I'm expecting out of being able to do this type of thing. So I'm going to do the primer. I'm going to do this paint. I'm going to get all the pieces prepared and cleaned up, and we'll see how it goes. As I'm compiling this video, I realized that I didn't actually catch any of the spraying technique that I used on the trim pieces. So I want to quickly describe a couple of different things that I did here. First and foremost, you'll see that they're hanging from a line. What I ended up doing is took a couple paper clips and cut them in half and then bent them so they could hold on to the top edge of one of the trim pieces, and then I could hang them. So it was a really great way to keep them separated, a great way to be able to get everything to dry uniformly across the piece. The second thing that you'll notice that is on here is that I have really flat color here. This is the primer color. So I did 3 coats of primer within that hour time frame that you're allowed to do multiple coats in. I let it dry for 24 hours, and then I hit it with the trim and bumper paint, the Rust-Oleum, to be able to give it color. After I hit it one time, I let it dry for, I'd say, a half hour, and I walked in and I realized I missed a bunch of spots. So I then came in and hit it again with another layer to make sure that it was fully coated. So I only have 2 coatings of the Rust-Oleum trim and bumper paint and about 3 coatings of primer. So in an effort to kind of clean up some of the trim pieces, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a product. I'm not sure if you can still get it, but it's awesome. It's Mother's Back to Black. It is a restorer that really rejuvenates the look and feel. Since this is from a 2018 SQ5, it's a few years old. Some of the plastic pieces are starting to wear out a little bit. I don't know how closely you can tell, but between the two, maybe they look exactly the same here. I'll kind of bring it up a little bit closer. But I did treat this one already to kind of get some of the gunk off of it, as well as this one is not treated, but it definitely, I mean, maybe you can see on the clips on how much it kind of restores the coloring. So just going to treat it just as kind of like a final touch before I start putting together the pieces. The paint went really well. Lots of small coatings, and you can actually see from my thumb and fingers that this is what I was holding the pieces with. So some cool things to come here, and I'll let you know what everything else looks like. So I figured I could give you a really good example of maybe some pieces that have had some wear over time. You can see some scuffing down below here underneath the fog light itself, kind of on the bottom side. I'm a little bit curious how that happened in the first place, but I am not the first owner of the vehicle. So I'm going to clean this also up with the Mother's Back to Black. I just love this product. It just does such a good job of restoring things. So I figured that I would maybe take this piece right here, kind of show some of that scuffing on this plastic, and I'll show you how well Mother's kind of cleans it up. So I'll do a fresh application here. I'm going to pour, I don't know, just a moderate amount of the liquid on there. Kind of put it together here, and then I'll start wiping this section here. So you can see that those scuffs are basically gone. Again, it's like, I love this stuff. It just does such a good job of cleaning things up. I'm gonna spend more time kind of cleaning this whole assembly up. It's gonna be super dirty just because I doubt it's ever been cleaned, even remotely close to this before. I wish I had time to take off all my trim pieces and clean and do a thorough cleaning on them, but I mean, it's gonna definitely liven up this. So once I get this one done, I'll maybe take the other one and kind of put it up against it. But again, as it's drying, you still don't see those scuffs. So pretty cool, if you ask me. Other couple of scuffs here that should be able to come out with Back to Black. So just a quick, I guess, middle thing while we're waiting for the paint to dry. Honestly, the paint's going to dry for over 24 hours, so I'm just killing a little bit of time before the trim pieces are ready to be put back on. So just wanted to kind of show this piece again. This is where the scuffing was. This is the piece after I kind of cleaned a lot of this up. There are some dings in here that I can't really do much about, but this does have the protectant on it, and then this one does not. So this one's still kind of dirty. So if I kind of do a little bit of difference in the colors, you'll see that one is definitely shinier and cleaner than the other one. So I'm gonna clean this guy up now. After I allowed enough time for the paint to dry, I then reinserted the pieces in the same order in which I took them apart. I took the main trim area and it just snaps right into place with those clips. Didn't feel I needed to show a video on that, as well as that center piece. That center plastic piece also just snaps right back in again. So there's not much mystery in being able to put those together. And here's the end result of what it looks like on the car. If you're looking for information on how to take off these trim pieces, I have another video that is going to be down below in the description that will show you how to take these off and put them back on. But at least you have the final look for now on this piece. Okay, because I know my community, I know what's going to happen. You're going to say, Brent, that looks ridiculous. You have blacked out lowers and everything else on the front is chrome. Well, if you haven't been following my series, I've been blacking out the entire vehicle. I've been blacking out the roof rails, the mirror caps, as well as the other trim pieces and the emblems. I recently, exciting to me, got my RS style grill in from China. And it was purchased from Enthusiast brand. Came within a few weeks, and I'm super excited about getting it on the vehicle. I just want to create a video detailing how to take off the bumper and also painting the crash bar. So when we get that done, you'll get more details. I'm always interested in hearing your opinions, so drop a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more tangents on cars, motorcycles, and trucks. Thanks again for watching.